Welcome to Perspective Now. I'm Marcus, and I'm here with none other than Nunyub. What's up, dude?
Not much, Marcus. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing really, really good, you know?
Well, that is
Things are
really, really good. Because we're about
Yeah.
to talk about some really, really good sitcoms and shows that propelled celebrities to be even bigger celebrities. Or in some cases, propelled them to be celebrities in the first place.
Yeah, like, you know, everyone who is on a sitcom, like, let's say 70s, 80s. Actually, don't we have one on here that's from the 60s, I think? But
Pretty old.
basically, these shows, you're on a show, and sometimes your career takes off, and sometimes it just pitters out, you know? And we're going to be talking about the actors that really blew up into stardom because of these shows that they were on. Now, some cases, they may have been on some other things or been maybe noteworthy enough to get their own show, but some of these people became like mega stars, right?
That's extremely right. Now, I don't know. What would you say about this first one, Marcus? In terms of actual celebrity, what would you put our first star at? And I'm gonna start going to the monitor now.
Okay.
In 1972, a crack
Oh,
commando unit
yeah.
was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they
Oh, God. So this show had a bunch of really great characters, you know. First off, Dirk Benedict as Lieutenant Templeton Faceman Peck is one of my favorite actors ever, just from his role. Murdoch this guy was super famous. In fact, he was famous, and he had issue with how famous his co-star became, which we're talking about here once he shows up. I know you guys know who. There, George Peppard. There's Dirk Benedict. And you can tell that they just quite, you know, they were holding off on our guy that we're choosing because he wasn't quite as famous as these other stars at first.
Maybe that's why. Maybe.
This guy was always a little annoying to me. What was his name? Not Dwight.
There he
He
is.
is, dude. Yes. B.A. Baracus. Mr. T. I mean, he became a legend from this. And it's funny because the only thing I can think of that might have, was it before this, was Rocky 3? Or was it after?
I have no idea. I mean, if anybody knows, throw it
Okay.
in the comment section. 'Cause
Yeah, it's close. It's close.
I'd like
but
to think of myself as a Mr. T fanatic or somebody who would
Yeah.
know that. But the
Yes.
answer's no, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think that generally speaking, Mr. T was a massive celebrity after this. He ended up getting his own cereal. He had his own toys. He had his own cartoon that showed up. So, yeah. I mean, really, really awesome. So, if I had to rank Mr. T's current celebritydom, I would absolutely say you got to have Mr. T in your life.
Gotta have it. Gotta have it.
I mean, for sure. That guy is a legend.
I, too, will just say that not only was he all about keeping it positive, but he had all those gold bracelets, and he was always like, you know, rocking the accessories, which I'm pretty sure is where Kip got it from in Napoleon Dynamite, that if you want to look official, gotta have those gold bracelets. So I'm going to go with Rad.
Rad.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Good choice. That's funny that you mentioned Kip, dude.
Well,
All right. So what do we got next?
so, you know, Tim Allen just is a Perspective Now all-star. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah.
But Home Improvement, again, this show was just, it took his stand-up self and launched him into where he could go into the movies that he has since then. It also launched the career of Jonathan Taylor Thomas, who seems to have been one of the few child actors that has, like, escaped staying famous in an unhealthy way. And so,
Yeah.
you know, this show,
That's the guy who unfortunately got a Dewey in Eugene
right,
recently.
right, which we don't need to bring up every time we see it, but
Sorry, I can't. So Tim Allen, though, man, wow, what a star! What a star! Galaxy Force is absolutely an awesome movie, and I don't know what else did he do.
the Santa Claus, Jungle to Jungle.
Okay, I mean,
think he's
Nunyub's a Tim Allen fan here, right?
It is what it is. I mean, I think I appreciated. I mean, do you remember that whole from Home Improvement? And he had that weird bark thing he would do where he'd be like, oh, 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 oh. I don't know. It's just it is an earworm catch line, if you will. And every time I'm doing some sort of household project and I think this needs more power, I think of Tim Allen. What can I say? Yeah.
All right.
So with that all said, I'm going to have to throw it out there that, you wouldn't have the characters that we got afterwards if it wasn't for this show. So when it comes to Home Improvement, gotta have it.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it.
For me, Tim Allen is okay. I'll tell you what, man. Like, I think that his career ended up being better, but it's just not super impressive to me personally. Like, the show when it was out, I did watch it and I kind of liked it. It was a little bit. There were some things I didn't like about the show, to be honest. I didn't like. I don't know what it was. His kids, maybe, and like I don't know what it is about his wife. Just kind of annoyed me. Maybe she was always like that was like her role, but she was always nagging him. And I did like how he was always like building that hot rod in the garage.
That was cool.
There was some cool stuff. And the neighbor guy. I mean, but to be fair, like the only movie I can think of that I really enjoy would be Galaxy Quest, and beyond that. I've seen him on like Coffee and Cars or whatever with Jerry Seinfeld. Tim Allen's gonna just be like a meh for me.
Meh.
That's a win. We'll call that a win.
Okay, yeah. Oh, hey, look at that neon. So this is a double bonus, isn't it? This is one of we have a couple of these coming up that are like a double feature, because right there you've got Ron flippin' Howard and the Fonz, which
Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Ron Howard just became a director, and not only, again, he's the epitome of a child star that didn't go south in his life also, and he's gone on to actually do other things and produce other things. Henry Winkler has just been the Henry Winkler caricature of himself, but in a healthy way, so...
He's been in a few like Adam Sandler movies, right? He was in Waterboy.
Waterboy was the best. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other things that I've seen him in. Like he played a principal in something. Was that Waterboy 2 or was that a different movie?
No, he was the coach in Waterboy.
The coach,
The football coach in Waterboy.
Ron Howard, I mean, debatable here, but Ron Howard is probably a lot more famous because he directed things like Willow, right? Cocoon, which any movie with Brian Dennehy is a A in my book.
Yeah,
he's done like directed a shit ton of movies.
Yeah, I mean the man has stayed famous. Whereas this picture we're looking at right here, I mean the Fonz, I mean it's just. It's Americana at its best. So
yeah, and Ron Howard was in the Andy Griffith Show, I think, but when he was a kid. But even still, I think that when this show came out, I think the Fonz he was bigger, right? He was the one that was famous for like a good at least 10 years after this show came out.
No, I mean 50 years basically. I mean,
okay,
he's still
50 years. Yeah. I'm with you. Okay, so what would you rank Henry Winkler's career at now? What would you say?
Well, I appreciate the fact that he's like willing to make fun of it, and so I'm gonna go ahead and give it a rad.
Rad. Henry Winkler, I think that the world would suck without Henry Winkler, and so I'm gonna give him a gotta have it.
Gotta have it.
How about Ron Howard? He's done pretty well. What would you say to Ron Howard? Oh, he also did Parenthood, I think.
Yeah,
comedies. Dude,
they're all good. I want to say it's good. it's just not so good that I'm very like strong. I don't have a ton of strong feelings towards it. So I'm going to give it a meh. It's not bad. It's not good. It is what it is.
Meh.
Okay. For me, Ron Howard, just because he did Willow, absolutely rad.
God.
Fair. Fair.
All right. What do we have now? Oh, nice opening shot. This is an amazingly 80s intro.
The most 80s intro, probably.
Wow.
Those Caprice cop cars.
Yeah.
Caprice classics.
Yeah. This one, oh wow, this is bringing me back. Sybil Shepherd.
Sybil Shepherd, kind of a twofer in this one too. She had her own show. She did other movies.
Yeah. Holy shit, look who that is though. My God.
The man himself, the myth, the legend, Bruce Willis.
Yeah, Bruce fucking Willis. And then you got that guy spraying the street down, pressure washing. So, Bruce Willis, I mean, I'm not even going to, like, pretend that he's not rad. I'm giving him a rad right off the bat.
God.
Right off the bat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't even, there's no point.
You know, I will say that it's cool that he did, obviously, all the Die Hard movies, and obviously he was the cool action star. And then, you know, when The Sixth Sense came out. But I want to say that the movie Unbreakable,
Uh-huh.
that was pretty cool too. Like, I mean, he's been doing cool stuff since then.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, Pulp Fiction being the most rad. So let me just not bury the lead. It's rad.
Rad.
Also rad. Yeah.
God.
How about Sybil Shepherd? Got anything for her?
I thought the sitcom was pretty good when it was out. I don't really remember much about it though, so I'm gonna go with meh.
Oh, a meh.
Meh.
Was she the lady in the Romancing of the Stone with Michael Douglas?
I think so, but I'm not totally sure.
I can't remember. Either way, I think she's hot.
That's hot.
I think she did well, so I'm going with hot for her.
Nice.
Now that was crazy though. Bruce Willis, holy shit. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hard to watch this one.
Nanu. Yeah, this one's sad, and for many reasons. I mean, it's tough.
But I think it's pretty fair to say he did well for himself.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty fair to say. I mean, nobody's had a better, more astrologically just catapulted career than Robin Williams. I mean, his stand-up was super successful. His ability to keep crowds entertained, going a million miles a minute.
What's some of your favorite movies that he did?
I mean, obviously Aladdin. Not to be a little partial there, but you know, I loved even the one where he played a doctor. I think it was Patch Adams or something like that. He's just in so many good things that he's just hilarious in. So, but his voice work was so good, all of it. I gotta say, gotta have it. Like, even knowing the sad part, it's still gotta have Robin Williams.
Gotta have it. Gotta have it.
My first movie that I saw him in was Popeye, and to this day, that movie is like a part of my soul. It's the characters. I know it kind of flopped, but it's a Robert Altman movie. I love that movie so much. I also think that Good Morning Vietnam is amazing. Mrs. Doubtfire is absolutely one of my favorites.
It was a drive-by fruiting.
Yeah. I think that when I found out about the way he passed and all that, man, I think a lot of people got really depressed, and I'm a huge fan, and I would give him a rad all day long. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna give him a rad.
God.
He's one of my
Good
favorite
choice.
people. I don't know, man. Just he was just amazing. So Mork and
only
Mindy.
he could have played Popeye. Nobody else could have ever done that. I mean,
Yeah, I think
he's
so
the only
too.
guy that could bring that character.
I want to go watch that movie right now.
Yeah. So this is also a twofer.
Yeah.
In that, you know, Cheers. This, first of all, the song to Cheers is one of the best ever.
Yeah.
I feel like when people are looking for a faith home or they're looking for a church, really when people are looking for that, they're just trying to go to some place. Everybody knows their name.
Yeah, totally.
Everybody's glad they came.
right.
That's why, turns out a church and a bar, maybe not all that separate or maybe not all that different.
Yeah.
Honestly, troubles are all the same. But,
I think
this show, it launched
ahead.
not just one or two, but we had Ted Danson from this show, the bartender. He's the main character. We had probably even bigger, like Woody Harrelson. I mean, the show
Woody
just
Harrelson. Yeah.
had a bunch of hits.
I mean, yeah, and you've got like some, pretty much a lot of the people on here. Kirstie Alley became pretty famous too.
Yeah. Look who's talking.
Shelley, what's her face? I can't think of her name. And then George Wendt.
Yeah.
You know what's a great movie with him is Ding Dong, You're Dead, House. Check that out. He is in House. And then what's even weirder is the movie House 2 has Cliff, the mailman, in it. Which is a weird Cheers connection. Yeah.
Aren't they both in Toy Story also? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yep.
Yeah.
They are both in Toy Story. When I was a kid, I would see and hear this song, and I liked the song, but I just thought this show was really boring when I was a kid. It was like, this is for adults. It wasn't until I got old enough to realize how funny it was. Another celebrity that came out of here was
Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah, Kelsey Grammer.
Yeah.
And I mean, this show kind of had a crap load of people. And by the way, you guys, we also talked about putting Taxi on this list because it's similar. We could go all day on that. But for the purpose of today's discussion, we are going to focus on two people on here primarily. Ted Danson, right? Let's talk about him first. So he, by the way, I just watched... I've been watching Curb Your Enthusiasm again, and he's hilarious on that. He's also on a show called Mr. Mayor, which I haven't watched, but I know somebody who's actually in. And then, I don't know, man, he was in a bunch of crazy movies, like,
No, it's rad all around. I mean, the only reason that I don't want to say...
Rad.
It's only that the radness of Ted Danson is borderline dwarfed by Woody Harrelson's radness. And so
I gave Ted a rad, so you're giving Woody a rad as well?
If I could go with rad,
there isn't a rad. We just have rad. So you have two rads down.
Yeah.
Definitely, man. Like, well, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say Ted Danson is a gotta have it.
Gotta have it.
And Woody Harrelson, just because I think he's absolutely amazing. Truthfully, I love Natural Born Killers. And I think that Woody Harrelson is an impressive actor. I've been to... he's got a bar that he owns with... Like, I'm trying to think who he owns it with. It might be... oh my God, Steven Tyler on Maui, and it's a bar that it's like a pizza pub, and it's super low key, really good pizza. Anyway, he goes there and plays poker and stuff. I'm trying to think who else goes there. Anyway,
cool
whatever.
People, I'm sure.
Yeah,
White Man Can't Jump. Probably one of the best
yeah.
movies there is.
Yeah, I mean, that's a funny movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm giving him a rad.
Rad.
Woody Harrelson's just amazing. So both these guys are great. And if I had to throw in Kirstie Alley, I actually used to live in a town that she lived next to. And I don't know. I'm going to give her a meh.
Meh.
I just can't. I don't know. It's not that impressed with Kirstie Alley. She's okay.
I don't have any strong feelings. I'll have to also throw in a meh.
Okay.
But
Meh.
with love.
Yep.
It's a meh with love.
Yeah.
Now,
Ooh, season 2.
this one coming in.
Oh, man.
The sketch, the paint.
This theme song's so crazy. So that guy who played as a dad, I just saw him on Curb Your Enthusiasm season 9, I think he plays a dermatologist. That guy.
Nice.
It's kind of funny.
Nice.
But it's not about him, is it?
Now, this is about America's sweetheart, Michael J. Fox.
Oh, holy shit. Who's also in Curb Enthusiasm, the season finale
stomping around.
of season 9.
He's in a few, I think, but he's just stomping around in his apartment.
Yeah.
He was obviously in the wrong in that episode, but we're not here to talk about Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, no, man. Michael J. Fox, to me, clearly, Back to the Future, what the hell? How can you... The third movie I could give that. I'll give the third movie a meh. I don't really care that much for that. Sorry, I had to do that. But
The Secret to My Success and like all the other like movies. I mean, he was just in hit after hit. I mean, everybody loved Michael J. Fox for the whole career. I mean, he did Spin City, I want to say he was in. He did like all kinds of sitcoms as time went on, but he was in Scrubs for a while.
Really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he played like a guest doctor for a while, and I got to go with the fact that Michael J. Fox was successfully working through his illness for so long. I think that's rad. I think that's awesome. So easy to go there.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that movie he was in where he like dated a veterinarian. You remember that? Like it was like doctor, or maybe he was a doctor. I don't remember what happened. It was like he broke down in a town. Maybe he said he was a doctor, and they all thought he was a doctor. I don't know. He was a veterinarian. I can't really remember. And then another good movie, though, that he's in, which was kind of later as far as cinema, was The Frighteners. Did you see that?
Mm-mm.
That's a cool movie. I have to give him a rad, absolutely.
Rad.
Michael J. Fox, of course.
Yeah. Guy's hilarious. So, moving right along here, this man's royalty. I mean royalty before the fact that it's the Fresh Prince.
Yes.
And yes, he was somewhat famous. By somewhat, I mean, you know, he had the hip hop career. He was like, you know,
DJ
successfully
Jazzy
dropped
Jeff
a
and
few.
him.
He'd already dropped a couple albums and stuff. But again, this show just took it to the next level. And I just want to point out, do you remember, I don't know if it was 1994 or exactly what year it was, but do you remember when Men in Black and Independence Day came out in the same year? That was amazing.
Was it the same year?
Yes.
That's crazy, yeah.
It was amazing that he had like the space program down that year. Both on the serious side and on the joking side. All the movies he's done since then. I feel like what the country needs right now is a Will Smith summer blockbuster with a song that goes along with it. You know,
Yeah, a
like
good
when
theme.
Men in Black came out, you got the song too.
That
Brings
was Danny
America
Elfman.
together.
Yeah, Danny Elfman did that song. That was an awesome theme song.
Well, and
is it
Will Smith
just-
had the rap song Men in Black. So not just the theme to
Oh,
it,
right, yeah, that's
but like
right.
the actual song.
Yep.
And then when Wild Wild West came out, there was that Wicked Wild Wild.
Yeah,
just,
right. That was a weird movie.
The movie was okay, but the song pretty good.
Yeah, clearly he became a massive star. This guy is huge now. I don't, I think that I and this is also one of the best theme songs too. I mean, both of us, both Nunyub and myself, could recite this start to finish, no problem. We wouldn't miss a beat. And also Philip, the uncle, which I'm blanking on his name, is the voice of Shredder, I believe, on the Ninja Turtles cartoon, which is just amazing to me. There's also other voices. I can't remember all the other things he's done, but he's got a very cool voice.
He worked with Pat Fraley, who was the voice of Krang on the Ninja Turtles. So, I mean, there's the 6 degrees of separation there, which is pretty awesome. Obviously, Alfonso Rivera became very famous for dancing to Tom Jones and stuff. I just saw him do that somewhere recently. And so, I mean, this show launched those people. But again, as famous as Will Smith was, it just took it to that next stratospheric level. America realized they loved him. So I got to say, gotta have it.
Gotta have it. Gotta have it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say Will Smith's career and plus his albums and all that. I'm gonna go and give him a hot, dude. Like he's on fire.
That's hot.
He's on fire, man. He's done so much shit. And like, what was that one movie where he was like alone in the city, the zombies and stuff?
Ooh.
What was that called?
Talking about, I can't think of the name though. There was
You know who did
iRobot too. There's just so many like good movies with that.
Yeah, the one that was where he's in the city alone. I Am Legend.
Yeah.
And the voice, the guy who did all the zombie voices, that was Mike Patton. If you don't know who Mike Patton is, he's the lead singer of Faith No More, and he was also Mr. Bungle, and about a bazillion other bands. Lovage, I don't know. I don't want to go through them all. Phantomus. Point is Mike Patton has some crazy vocal skills. Sorry. So anyway, Fresh Prince, amazing. Was a Kickstarter for Will Smith that just was unfathomable.
That's all you got. That's all you need. One of these sitcoms to launch your career as an actor. Now, of course, we're looking at pictures of Alan Thicke right now. Alan Thicke is, not the purpose of us bringing this up, but fun story. Did you know that Alan Thicke wrote the theme song to Jeopardy?
What? No.
Yes,
That
he
is
did.
weird.
He composed the theme song to Jeopardy. True story.
How does that go? Oh, yeah. Thanks. Wow.
Yeah, that's
I don't know how I could forget that. Now I'm never going to be able to forget it all day.
Yeah. But we're here today to talk about, well, there's a couple people off of this show. Kirk Cameron. I mean, again, he was the Will Smith of this show, basically. The ladies' man, guy from the family. Not paying attention to the family photo right here because he's too cool.
Yeah. And that's like a members only jacket he's wearing, I think.
Yeah, obviously. Looks super cool. And then, but, also, bonus on this show, launched the career of a Mr. Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. I think it worked out pretty good
nuts.
for him
So
also.
what? Yeah, tell me about that, Nunyub. Was he like a guest or something?
Well,
or?
Late in the show, Kirk Cameron became a teacher. Leonardo DiCaprio was a student of whom was having some family issues, and so Kirk Cameron's, took him under his wing. I think he actually came to live with the family for a while. I don't remember much of the details other than that, but yeah, I believe Leonardo DiCaprio went on to do big things. Catch Me If You Can, Wolf of Wall Street, Titanic was kind of a thing. I don't know if you've heard of that. Maybe a
or What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Yes.
Didn't we we brought that up on a previous
sure
episode.
did. Yes.
So holy crap! I mean, honestly, I think that for Alan Thicke, just because he wrote the theme song, that's rad.
Yeah. Famously, his son Robin Thicke was the guy who sang Blurred Lines and stuff. So Alan Thicke, just rad dad, obviously, if he's able to do that, do music and acting like that. Kirk Cameron, it's hard meh on this. Very much so appreciated the character from Growing Pains. It's fizzled. I don't have any negative animosity towards him since then. It's not been what I expected. I also want to say his sister is Candace Cameron. She was DJ Tanner from Full House. So weird connections there. And Leonardo DiCaprio. Wait, let me stop there and just ask, where are you at on Kirk Cameron?
Kirk Cameron, well, I wanted to think he was cool when I was a kid. I mean, he seemed cool. He was on a lot of posters and stuff of, girls' walls and whatever. I mean, he definitely was like a heartthrob, I guess. For me, it was like, I just wasn't really into him. And then his later career, he ended up being really into evangelical studies and shows that reflected those values and virtues. So you can find him in a series of movies called Left Behind, 1 through 12. I do recommend my good friend Dumpster Judy. Go check out Dumpster Dive Film Reviews because she's reviewed a few of those movies. He's also just in a bunch of weird shit that I just couldn't care less about. I'm gonna give him. I'm sorry, guys. This is my first lame of the evening, but
Yeah, I
yeah,
gotta
Kirk
say
Cameron's.
that is lame too, because when I like to think of how things should be, it should be the everybody knows your name, our troubles are all the same. Less so the left behind attitude towards it, So that is pretty lame. But again, meh, meh. Leonardo
Okay.
DiCaprio, though,
Yeah, Leo.
Leo made the spotlight. I gotta say, his "Catch Me If You Can" alone, you gotta have it. The guy's
I saw that in the theater, by the way. Yeah.
such a great movie.
Gotta have it.
I think he's awesome in Django Unchained. I think he's
Yes.
awesome in a lot of movies, man. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, like Leonardo DiCaprio, there was a period where I was actually kind of annoyed with him. But it was like the early 90s. I don't know why. Maybe it was Basketball Diaries. I don't know what it was. There was something I didn't like about him. I didn't like him in the Gilbert Grape movie as much. I mean, he was just super annoying. But then as he matured, and I didn't like Titanic either. I'm sorry. It was just like too, like James Cameron, man, like he should have focused on movies like Abyss and not, stay below the water, dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anyway, Leo, yeah, absolutely rad.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
What a
this show
crazy
had a
show.
bunch of
Yeah.
And I want to say, I love that song. Show me
Yeah.
that smile again.
Yeah.
It's just a good song.
Yeah.
Moving right along here. This show had just an amazing amount of famous people travel
Yeah.
through it.
I hate the
Specifically,
theme song.
Specifically, I think today we got to talk about Jennifer Aniston. She's become a huge star in terms of, well, just being a star. I mean, but beyond that, she's been in a bunch of movies. I think she was just most recently in like Horrible Bosses, and she was in that movie. I see it all the time on TV. It's where they're driving like a motorhome down to Mexico, and I don't know if you saw that. It's got Jason Sudeikis in it. No. Okay.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
They're like a fake family.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm like impartial to her, but I'll tell you
Meh.
why. So what would you give her? What would you give her?
It's pretty easy. Jennifer Aniston, she's got a hot career. It's hot.
That's hot.
Okay, so Friends is a funny show, but I just never really watched it unless it was on and there was nothing else for me to do. The theme song drives me completely bonkers. I do like the everybody in the show is funny to me. Like I think that like Phoebe and Ross and like I just think they're all funny. Jennifer Aniston to me is the least funny out of everybody. She's the one that I think is the most dry and like, I like
because it's because she was. I hate to say it, she was an attractive lady, so I mean, she didn't need to be as funny to make it onto the cast.
What's
right? I mean,
Monica's name?
They were
What's
all
that
good looking.
actress's? Who's
Courtney
Monica?
Cox.
What's her name? Courtney Cox is to me way better because Ace Ventura, Scream. I feel like those are cooler movies. Though now,
Yeah.
before I give, because I am borderline giving Jennifer, is that her name? See, I can't even remember her name, dude. I'm borderline giving her like a meh or like lame, honestly. But because of one movie, she's getting a rad, and that one movie is Office Space.
Yeah.
Oh, hard. Yeah, and I feel I need to take back my comment where I was saying because she's so good looking, she doesn't need to be as funny. Office Space is hilarious. So
She's
again,
great in Office Space.
not just
Yeah.
hot, also rad because she earns it. It's hilarious.
I'll give you a rad for it. The other movie too that I saw, which is pretty good, she's in it with Paul Rudd, and it's like they go to this like hippie commune. I can't remember the name of the movie.
I don't know. Paul Rudd was in Friends also. I mean, Friends had like a ton of side characters that came in. Giovanni Ribisi was the brother of Phoebe for a while, and
Wow.
just like a ton of people that were like later more famous. So it's cool when these shows not only propel their own stars to fame, but the side characters you later see were on their path also. So
Yeah.
again,
Interesting.
good for them.
Good for them. Yeah.
Next best
Oh,
theme song ever.
so great. I just watched the Star Wars holiday special with B. Arthur. I recommend that to anybody, the full uncut version. Beatrice Arthur. Man. I also
I
just
mean,
read this trivia that the lady who played the mom, Sylvia or something?
Sophia.
Sophia, she's older. Yeah, sorry, she's younger than B. Arthur and Blanche by a year. They just put makeup on her for like an hour.
You
She was
just blew my mind.
yeah, she's
Back in
younger than
Sicily,
B. Arthur.
they had great skincare. What can we say?
Yeah, right.
I mean, I just
So
think the
B.
whole
Arthur
concept
was
of this show is awesome. The fact that these women are making their second act, if you will, they're living the bachelorette life once again in this world. I think it's such a great show. But again, right there in the center, Betty White. Betty White was
dude.
famous,
Yeah.
but she's still famous to a whole new generation. I think the show had
Yeah.
everything to do with that.
Yeah, she's absolutely America's golden girl.
Yeah. Yeah. So with that, that's hot. We're giving her that's hot.
That's
Yeah,
hot.
yeah.
That's
And
hot.
I'm just going to say that Betty White to me is one of the best things to come out of the 80s for me, even though she was around before that. For sure.
Yeah.
But she is just amazing. And yeah, I'm going to give her a hot too, man.
That's hot.
That's hot.
It's great.
All right.
Wow. This might be one of my favorite theme songs ever, which is
Well, I
Frank
think
Sinatra.
it's just a song. I mean, at this point,
It is a song.
They
They took the
repurposed
song.
the song. Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's a great song.
Ed O'Neill. I mean, he's the original Homer Simpson human version, but more depressing.
This
It's
show
so
is
great.
so good. Yeah.
Just her ashes going in the salad. It's the first time you see like a woman pursuing the man more aggressively than the man pursuing the woman. Also, I think that was kind of funny.
Isn't that the first guy? That's the first Steve, because later on
Yeah.
it was a different actor.
Yeah.
And that's Darcy, right?
Yeah.
She ended up like
Look, did she just pull a cigarette out of her salad?
yeah,
It's
because she was yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Bonus points, though. Not only was Ed O'Neill, continue to be super famous, but Christina Applegate.
Christina
And
Applegate, man.
What was that movie with Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead?
Oh,
remember that
was she
movie?
in that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
David Faustino, he kind of became a little douchey, didn't he? Or am I mixing him up with someone else?
I don't know. Obviously
Looks-
not from
looks
this
douchey.
image. Painting on the beard. I think we can
Yeah.
all do that, obviously. No.
But what a great story, too. This whole show was awesome, man. Oh, there's that guy.
Yeah.
Now I'm confused.
This
I
must
thought-
be
'cause
like
he
this is the extended cut. This has got to be some sort of
okay,
extended cut.
okay. Because I'm like,
Yeah.
why, how can he be in this as well?
Right. But again, the man himself, Ed
Yeah.
O'Neill, he's made it back. He's
Ed
on
O'Neill.
Modern Family these days. He's been not just classic Americana back then, like kind of that first taking it away from the Happy Days depiction of the happy household, but now he's like even more modernizing that picture in Modern Family. I mean, he's just stayed relevant in a way that's not very easy to do for a television actor. So I gotta say, America's gotta have it.
Gotta have it.
Gotta have it.
I agree. I think that the movie that I remember seeing him in that really stuck out after Married with Children was Wayne's World. And he is in
Who is
the
he in
cafe
Wayne's World?
diner. He's like the guy in the cafe who talks about death in the winter and like the steam was like
Is
the soul leaving the body or something.
he the waiter? Like he's got
He's
the
like
hat
the-
on and he's got the apron
like
on.
the
Is that him?
Yeah, he's like the chef or something.
Yeah,
I can't really
yeah.
remember, but I remember watching that thinking, whoa, it's Al Bundy. And then, of course, yeah, like he went on, and Modern Family is, I think, a hilarious show. Ed O'Neill is amazing. He's also, little side note, he's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, super weird.
Okay.
Well,
Well, that alone, I already ranked
Yeah.
it. Never mind. Go ahead.
you ranked it, but I'm giving him a rad full on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. What do you think, Christina Applegate?
Again, so she's been in super funny movies since then too. I think she's in a show recently. I'm gonna go with Rad. Good for her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and for me, I think she's amazing. She is very funny. I've seen her in some other stuff, but the ones that come to mind are like Anchorman 1 and 2.
Hilarious.
Yeah, and so I'm definitely giving her a hot because I think she's amazingly hot
That's hot.
and funny. She's funny and hot.
Yeah,
So, there you go.
it's amazing. And that's it. That's our list. Thank you
That's
for
it.
joining
Wow.
us for it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
I guess my question is: Are there any other celebrities that were launched from sitcoms that we didn't list? If so, throw them in the comment section.
Yeah, what did we miss? What would you guys add to this list? We do want to know. And thanks for joining us on another episode of Perspective Now. Until next time, we'll see you on the flip side later on.